Congratulations! You've made it through the first week of the 4-week classes. That's no small feat. You're a quarter of the way there if you don't want to look at it that way. This week, week 2A, week 2B, the first half of this week is the hardest unit in the class. It's because it covers a huge chunk of time, all the way from ancient Greece, so about 450, 500 BC, all the way to the end of the Renaissance era, which is around 1600 AD. Huge chunk of time. There's a lot of material to cover. Please do not wait until the last minute to start this unit, because it's going to be hard to get it all done by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday night. The reason we talk about ancient Greece is because ancient Greece influenced so much of the world around us today. Our government here in the United States is modeled after what they were doing in Greece. Our music, our literature, anything artistically, math, Pythagorean theorem, hello, all of that goes back to ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, you had the different gods, and the gods all represented different things. And the two gods that really come into play when we're talking about music are Apollo and Dionysus. Apollo was very cool, calm, collected. His temple was in Delphi. People came from all over the world to talk to the oracle. If you don't know about the Oracle of Delphi, you should Google it. It's wild. So for 6 months out of the year, Apollo was there, according to the ancient Greeks, and everything was cool, calm, collected, or what we're going to refer to as classical in style, classicism, thinking with your head, being very mellow. The other 6 months of the year, Dionysus moved in, and Dionysus was like, let's party! Party, revelry, having a good time, in your feelings, thinking with your heart. Also known as romanticism. Romanticism, the romantic style of thinking, is not necessarily hearts and flowers and rainbows and love and Cupid and all that. It's just thinking with your emotions, with your heart, as opposed to classicism, which is thinking with your head and staying really calm. And those two ideas keep coming back all the way through the entire course, and as we go through the different time periods. After ancient Greece, we move into the medieval era. Things were dark and bleak. Ancient Rome fell. The world kind of got turned upside down. There was a lot of war. You had the plague. Life was just hard. And the church had a lot of influence. The church was the ruling power of the world. Even though you had your kings and queens, they also answered to the Catholic Church. And a lot of people were looking to the church because life was so hard, and they were looking forward to heaven. Because paradise and things would be better. So all the music that you're going to listen to in the medieval era is, sorry, my dog is like whining, sacred, church related. It's also monophonic, one voice at a time. And it's all pointing towards God, and it's more on the romantic side of things because they were in their feelings and life was just not easy. Then we move into the Renaissance, and people started thinking more for themselves and thinking with their heads. You had Martin Luther come along and do the Protestant Reformation and break with the Catholic Church, which rocked the entire world. As we move through those songs and those pieces, you have moved from monophonic, one voice at a time, to polyphonic, which is more than one voice at a time. You could think of it as if a bunch of people were sitting around in a room and started singing "Row, row, row your boat," and all came in at different times. They're singing the same melody, they're just coming in at different times. But towards the end of the Renaissance era, you started getting more implied harmonies and it sounded more homophonic, which is a melody and accompaniment. Think like a choir or anything you listen to on the radio today. All of that is homophonic. If you have questions about the difference between monophonic, polyphonic, homophonic, please let me know. Medieval era was more romantic in style. The Renaissance era was more classical in style, very cool, calm, collected, organized, that type thing. Your assignments that are due Wednesday night are your study guide. This is a very extensive study guide. I'm partnering you up again. If you need help contacting with your partners, please let me know. You also have your first listening journal. Please refer back to the McGraw-Hill module. There are instructions in there about how to work McGraw-Hill Connect. What I'm expecting you to do in the listening journals. There's a sample listening journal file within the actual assignment in Canvas. You also have a discussion board about the difference between popular and classical music, and why do you think one changes and why you think one doesn't. Remember, discussion boards, you need 100 words and you need to reply to 2 people in order to receive full credit. You also have your first listening quiz. That's where McGraw-Hill Connect also comes in handy, because you can listen to the pieces before you take the quiz. The listening quizzes are multiple choice. They start at the beginning of the song. They should be pretty straightforward. And you also have your Unit 2 test. So you have a lot to cover this week. Everything's due Wednesday night. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you have a good week.